Hey everyone, Karen the Spinster here. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. Today I want to kind of wrap up what we've been doing with this. We created these in the Tiny Leavings series, and then I also started putting them together with the Striped Tees Act 1. Now I am going to give you the chunks of the video that I took out of the striped tees piece because I started doing more than I intended to in the stripe, got carried away. So I pulled those out to do in a separate video, and you'll be seeing those pieces shortly. If you remember, we started with these two pieces, split them, and then we started playing with stripes to put in between them if we split them, and then what would we put in there. So we're going to pick up, there may be a little bit of overlap from the previous video, the Striped Tees Act 1, to think about that. And then it will go into, so it'll start out with this one and an idea for how to put this together and finish it without actually finishing it, but what I decided I would like to do with it. And then there will be a piece where it will transition into a piece that works with those two pieces together. It will get partway through, and then I will come in and finish up with a couple of ideas that I might use to finish off this piece. I think I'm liking that best so far, and I know we talked about doing, now I have to go find my striped fabric. Oh, we didn't talk about doing partly this and partly a color. Wow, there's an idea. I don't know if I like it, but there's an idea. It pulls in this part of the stripe then. And this would almost make a quilt on its own. A mini quilt. Well, someone also commented that these tiny leavings and laying them out maybe like this would make a great postcard, and I agree. And at some point I'm going to do a postcard segment or series. Not that I'm an expert on it, but I have been trying things out. And I can say don't necessarily believe that they're going to hand cancel because mine went through some machine or other that left some black markings on the postcard. I'm struggling between liking really wild and wacky things and wanting to not overdo. I don't like it down there. I kind of like it there, but I'm worried that it's too much going on. There could be, say, a piece here and another one maybe at the top up here. To tie things together. All right, we're going to, well, I could use this one, and I want it to go this way. Is that what I've been doing? Yes. All right, let me just do this. Fold that under up here to get some idea. Smaller piece, so let's give it a smaller, let's give it a pin. All right. And then remember to keep that a pretty narrow black stripe there. And then I do not like that. And that's almost too obviously wanting to tie the top and the bottom together. So I don't like that. If it were narrower, would I like it? If it were wider, would I like it? The narrower would be better. But I don't know that I like it there. I think I would rather have it there, though I usually like the weight down toward the bottom. This is probably not going to be what I want, but let's give it a go just because I actually like that better. The narrow stripe up there is fine, but I like the wider one at the bottom. Let me pin that so we can with this mock-up thing, it gets to be a little crazy, doesn't it? Perhaps. I'm not crazy about it. Not crazy about it at all. I think this one needs to be really bold if I want to put it in, so good sized. It's good to have confirmation from my iron. See, I like that better. How about you all? I don't know if that's what I want to end up with, but I like it better than having it down here. Now, what would happen if I extend white on the side? Because I like negative space. I know you don't all like negative space, but I do. I do. Nothing else. This helps us to visualize it better, I think, as a piece. Maybe on two sides. But not a third side. And it could be either side. We could have it over here instead. Oh, that's better. I like that better. Get rid of some of this distraction. Ay, ay, ay. This is, I have to say, kind of what my brain looks like sometimes is, oh, tuck in another idea or fact here. All right, now I'm seeing Golden Gate Bridge on a spring day, which is just insane because the Golden Gate Bridge would be red, not black. But, you know, I think I like that. So that's one possibility for what I could do. I could make a larger piece out of it if I wanted to. I could scatter some more pieces over here. I just happen to have a bunch over here. Imagine that. And these could go off to the side. The blues are at the very bottom naturally. And have some more scatter off so it looks less like a border and part of the whole composition. And we want to move up. This is not where I plan to go with this today, by the way. We're supposed to be doing stripes, but while we're about it, I could be doing this. Now I could have it all just going up, or it could be cascading down. Maybe overlap that a little bit, or maybe not. I'm beginning to like this more and more. Who knew? What if we did it going down instead of up? Again, gives us more weight here, but looks less like it's happily rising. I think I might like it better going up, going up. These are kind of lined up too much, aren't they? Really kind of think I want more of the weight down here. And I think I want this to stay with the blue colors over here. Let me try a couple of greens. Yeah, maybe not. What is running through my mind right now, besides a fair amount of chaos, is that this would make a fine piece on its own, just a small mini quilt. But I also might like to translate it to a little larger size and be more, don't want to say thoughtful, but do triangles that are fused and applique down. In a larger size, that would be more practical. I'm liking this quite a lot. What do you all think? And it's perfectly all right for you to say, no, this really sucks. I don't like it. Doesn't mean I will stop liking it or not make it, but you are certainly free to express your own opinions. Yes or no on the wide stripe? Then, I know this is going crazy. This is going to end up to be a bed-size quilt by the time I'm finished. Ground it more. Nope. And now I'm seeing things like the roadbed of the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. No, definitely not. Definitely not. For me, anyway. All right, I'm gonna snap a picture of that. Actually, I'll just grab a screenshot from the video because that's a possibility for another quilt. Though I'm wondering if I want maybe some more white down here, but have the stripe go across that. It's probably going off frame again, isn't it? In my dream studio that I'm working on, I will have a ceiling mounted camera that can zoom in and out, and I can get as much space as I want. This big wad of white is actually pretty distracting, isn't it? Let's do that instead. I would definitely want to do this and take the stripe all the way down in order to pull this bottom piece in. And then I would indeed, don't shoot yourself in the foot for your next needlepoint project. Let's kind of drape this to see. I don't know that I even care if it goes off into the triangle sections, but I think I would like it to go off in these white areas. Then do I want another strip of stripe? Oop. Maybe a narrow one, but that I think cuts it up too much. Probably not. Not sure, but probably not. Not over on the side anyway. And there's another option. We haven't even tried bringing in the pink and green yet, have we? If we wanted to make this all a piece, then we would need to do something maybe similar, but not the same thing, with the pink and green. But that has some potential. We could, of course, swap these out. The other blue one here, and do a more horizontal composition. There are very many choices. I have not, of course, because one can never have too many choices. Is that how that goes? Not. Let's just go back to the blue for the moment. Let's be able to compare better. We could have a black, simple black stripe. We're kind of making our own stripe if we couch something on it. And that would have, of course, a completely different look. It would be more of an sophisticated, elegant sort of vibe. And less of this going on for the eye to try to follow. So that's a possibility. Of course, I could also put a green thread down that. I could find the end of my green thread. I don't know if I want that much. Maybe tie the two pieces together, or if I had the pink here, then I could do a pink thread, which would tie that together. And the green would still be a part of tying that together. This is probably wider than I would have on there at this point because there's green in both of those. So we could do, wouldn't have to do the loops. I'm just kind of now into these loops. And that makes the green very prevalent. Really pulls out the green. If you wanted to pull out either the blue or the pink, then you could replace this stripe. What was the other color I had? Blue. All right, we are back for some more shenanigans. So today, this is roughly where we left off, I believe. And I decided that I liked this green better than the blue if I wanted another stripe in there at all, because the green ties the two of them together. This may want to be a narrower strip if I did that. However, well, if you recall, we can check some of these other stripes that we did. This one we used in the piece earlier that was these two pieces, not the green, but the other half of the blue there. And this one just would not work at all. That needs to be its own thing. This one is a lot going on. This one is just yowza. Now they might work together as if they were not, if this wasn't just an inserted stripe, because as a stripe that is just about as probably wider than that piece, so it just overwhelms it. It would be fine as if I were doing a quilt and just, you know, improv putting those together, but as the stripe in between there, that's entirely too much. Here's a blue and green curve with that in the middle. Again, that stripe, that widest stripe there is probably too much. Here we've got a multiple stripe, and that's going to be too wide. So we're going to create our own little strip here, and it could certainly be left just as a black strip for a more minimalist as it can get with all of this going on. But I also wondered, because you know I would, about a stripe here. So we have the film strip approach, and that to me is not bad, because there's not, first of all, I like this wide stripe, as you know, but there's not a lot else going on. It's a very uniform sort of rest your eye kind of thing. On the one hand, it's a lot because it's a stripe, but on the other hand, it's a very regular stripe and it's going straight up and down. Now I'm wondering if, let me see if I can find one here somewhere. If I take a very narrow black strip and add that on top, it gives it a very urban mod sort of look, I think. This looks like windows in a high-rise or something, I think. And I kind of like that. I think this strip would be, yeah, that's, I don't know. I don't know why that, if it were narrower, maybe it would work, but I'm kind of liking that. And it just depends on how much busyness you want to have going on. Now, what else might I do in this white space around it, this negative space? And I don't know how much that might be at this point. I just want to start adding some things in. And I'm looking at more triangles here. Again, I've got the black and the green, and somewhere under there I have some blue. That isn't exactly that blue, but it will stand in for it for our purposes. All right, I seem to have run out of that blue that I used there for some reason. Probably have the last of it in my scrap bin, and I do not want orange in here. I might want some pink, but I don't have that pink in triangles. I have some of that pink I could cut up, but while we're playing with this, I'll just use those. And I'm thinking that I want to either continue to carry this down or reflect this pink. And what I'm thinking is something that's a little more regimented. I've got this here, all of that going on. And then what if we do something more regimented here? And then also some more over here. Pull that up a bit. And then do the blues across here, which sort of leaves out the pink. And we have the green tying those two together, so I'm wondering if we could just further tie it together by pulling the pink over here. And then it makes it less chaotic all over. You've got this, and then on the outer edges, you've got something that's a little more formal. Or we could sort of stagger these a little bit if we want it to be a little less formal. So tilt these. I think I might like it more formal. Maybe one of them formal and the other one not. I'll find another blue one in here because there's going to be a couple more blue ones. Maybe send this off in that direction. Maybe. Then what I want this to just be anchoring this. Or I could turn it the other direction. That may be better. If this is going up that way, then I want that sort of flow. If it's more formal, I kind of like it the other way. This is moving your eye up always. And if I have this, then it's moving it down here too, which may help the eye to just kind of move all around. And it may want something down here to anchor it, maybe. Don't worry, I'm not putting a stripe down there. I know some of you were worrying about that, weren't you? Oh no, she's putting in more stripes. What if we did this down here instead of the white? And no, not my thing. Comments below if you like that, of course, but not going to be my thing. There's also the option, I don't think I'm going to like this, but I'm going to try it because you never know, is to have this black strip going through there. I'm right, I don't like it. Maybe a black strip going across there. And this, where would I want that to end? Do I want that to be all the way to the bottom, or do I want it to be just to the end of that? And then this going across. Not entirely sure. I have to look at this more head on, more bird's eye view. I don't know, that seems to just sort of cut it off at the knees somehow. I sort of want to connect these two in some fashion down here, and maybe just the white will do that. And this runs off all the way to the top. Off to whatever height that ends up going. I'm thinking it needs something down here, and maybe it just needs a little wider strip across there. But I think it will need something there. Now, another thing I could do would be to alternate these with black. Anytime you add black, in my mind anyway, it looks more elegant. Darker, but I think in many cases it makes it more elegant. Due to be a black at the end there. I need a black triangle. Got a million of them, shouldn't be hard to find. All right, I have to stand up to look at this head on. Is that maybe a little too much black? All right, let's take this back to pink. Honestly, I think I like it better without the black triangles there. But what if I, in order to pull these together more, what if I alternate with green? Dropped one of my greens, but fortunately, I have many, many greens in my tin, my little jar here. Sorry, my voice has probably changed since I'm closer to the camera. I suppose in a sense that ties it together, but the green is, actually the blue and the pink were meant to be more of the accent colors. So I'm sort of honoring that, but I'm still not sure. I need to take pictures of each one, I guess, and decide which one I like. But I do like this idea of having the triangles be regimented and this sort of urban look in the middle. Do I want all blue triangles back here? I may want some green up there, though. I wonder why I like it up here and not down there. Interesting. You never know where my brain's taking me. It's kind of fun and kind of scary at the same time. I'm liking that general concept, but I'm almost wondering if this doesn't need to go all the way down after all. I think it might. It could be, I suppose, that this comes down to the bottom here, but that's white up here. I know, I'm just tossing in little bits of things as I need to simulate white, but pardon my elbow in there. So that this goes up to the edge of that one, say. This would move up, as with that, and then I could have the geese coming there. And then that, never mind. Never mind. Question is, does that split the whole thing up too much if I have it top to bottom? It kind of does. But I kind of want it grounded down here. So if I pull this down this bit longer so that that matches up with that, and then my geese down here and those up there. Have to use your imagination a lot over here. Would have been smarter just to have one big old piece of white under there, wouldn't it? That's actually kind of what I need to do. I have a foam core board that would make this a whole lot easier if I put that underneath. I also need another black strip down here. It's kind of distracting that that doesn't go all the way down. Or maybe I don't want this to go all the way down, but this stripe goes all the way up and down. Just that narrow black stripe. And then lop off a piece of that. Have another strip going across there. It's not the right place for that. If we have the split so that it's just covers the split between those two pieces, and then I have no idea what I just did with that piece. I had a second piece coming down there, didn't I? All right, we'll do this just for now. You're probably shouting at me. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, that's better. Sort of adds to that urban myth thing. And have this cross, but go all the way to the edge over here. It's more that industrial sort of look. I could, of course, have stuff down here, but I think that's too much. Definitely going to be too much, I believe. Yes, although it needs a little bit more weight down there to ground it. I'm inclined to slap a circle down there just to really throw everything off. Wouldn't that be a hoot? Or, here we go. We have some black triangles here that we could use to weight this a bit. I like to have, usually, not always, but usually like to have something heavier in visual weight at the bottom so that it feels grounded. That's kind of an interesting thing, but I don't think I want it there. Do I? No. I just put one like an arrow down there. It's kind of fun. So I would want some fine tuning, but I think I'm liking that. I don't know about this arrow bit down here yet, but I think I do like this. This helps to tie it together. Having this just be the length of the edges of these two pieces, I think draws the eye into those, which are the focus of the piece. And then this would help to ground it and just help to move the eye all around. Well, there we have it. Wrapping up these pieces, and at some point, probably not this week, however, I will start to put those together because I think I would like to make just two. Well, I can't make two small pieces. I'll make either this one or the other one because the other one I'm using one from each set, so I would need to do something with this, which isn't outside the realm of possibility. I will just have to decide whether I like this one or the Golden Gate Bridge in black and blue. All right, that's it. Thanks very much for joining me today. Please, if you like this video, remember to give me a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already. I've enjoyed spending time with you today. I will see you hopefully on Wednesday. I have a couple other things in mind. I'm not sure the order in which I'm going to do them. And I want to continue to explore some things like this with all the half square triangles that I have to make just a striped improv. I think I'm starting to do smaller pieces because my house is overrun with quilts. I've been giving them away like mad, and at some point I will sell some of them, but I need to have some more that can decorate my home, I guess. I'm putting up curtain rods everywhere so that I can easily hang and change out quilts. That's something for another day. So I hope I will see you on Wednesday. On Sunday, next Sunday, I have another thing in mind, I think. So I hope to see you either on Sunday or Wednesday. In the meantime, be well, be safe, be happy,